So you can see on the 1848 map that this area, well, it was enclosed land, it wasn't really farmed, and there were quite a few ponds that you can actually see on the map. And there are different reports about the uses that people made of the pond. So somewhere I read that people used to come here and wash thatching rushes in the ponds. But I think because of because it was the whole area was a lowland raised bog, which now is a biodiversity action plan habitat, but there's no trace of that former habitat left, and there would have been peat here as well in the past, because when the independent college was built on College Road, when they were digging the foundations, they found ancient relics of birch trees that were conserved in the peat, and that was, obviously quite a clear indicator of its past. So this whole area was very boggy, and then Joshua Brooke bought up a load of land over on the other side of Withington Road to develop it into a suburb. A lot of the area in Whalley Range was obviously drained, and a lot of the streams were culverted. And I've managed to get some old maps that show where the old streams used to be and where they were culverted. So this was a very wet area. Yeah, so when the park was built, they would have had to have drained a lot of the land again. And the thing about the trees is, of course, they take up a lot of water. So with climate change, and you've got more extreme weather events, so there's periods of very heavy rainfall, the trees perform a really important function as a flood defence. And if you look at Environment Agency's maps, Alexandra Park is still in a flood area, and you can see there from the rainfall that we've just had recently that this area still becomes waterlogged very easily. And so if they start taking lots of trees out, then that's only going to make the situation a lot worse. But in terms of wildlife, it doesn't matter to have things flooded. But if it's areas that people want to use, then obviously it's a bit of an issue. But this is showing its ancient past, isn't it? That's what it would have looked like in the earlier part of the 19th century before it got turned into a park. And when we came and did a plant survey here last year, Dave Bishop, who did the plant survey, who's a keen botanist, and he's the chair of Friends of Chorlton Meadows, he found a particular species of plant that was growing at that top end on that avenue. And he didn't know about the history of the park as a former Mossland, and this particular species, I forget the name of it, but he was really surprised to find it there, because he said they only really grow in really damp areas, and so that was an indicator again of the natural heritage of this place. So that's very interesting.